It's halfway between a cartridge and a one of them CD things, except less cool.
I bought a new Uno game.
A new Uno game.
Yeah, look at that. Look at
Oh,
that Uno. Look at
Snoopy
that
would like
Uno.
that.
Snoopy
Snoopy,
Uno.
the Peanuts movie Uno game.
Snoono.
Nice.
Snoono?
Is that out on disc yet?
Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
This
I
Tuesday,
bought it
actually.
last week on
Oh,
iTunes.
it is out digital. You can buy it.
Next week on iTunes.
Yeah,
A
dude.
lot of studios have been doing that lately, huh?
Yeah.
That's right.
Really
Inside
They
Out
got
was
to push
out early.
digital sales somehow.
Yeah. I know Star Wars is coming out early.
Star
Okay.
Wars, yeah, April
Just
1st, right?
Yeah, I think it's like 4 days early
Yeah.
to get it on digital. But
I know what I'm getting my wife for our anniversary.
Something you want? Here you go, Phil.
what
like
do you
this one?
have there?
You like this one?
Oh, there it is, the review copy.
Yep.
That's lovely.
Nice. You know, I think I may actually have that as well somewhere. I think
I have
might
two
have
copies of it here.
I don't even think I have that.
2 review copies.
Yeah.
Oh,
I never
geez.
actually bought it.
Wow.
I was staying to CJ. I've been cleaning my closets and everything today, and I found a pile of review copy UMDs. Like
Nice.
this is half of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah. A lot of it's NIS America stuff.
I have a few. A few
UMDs.
review. A few review copies. Some Capcom stuff actually. I think I have like Power Stone.
Yeah, I got that here.
Collection.
Power
Yeah.
Stone Collection. Outrun 2006 is in here.
Oh really?
Um,
Review
Some
build?
good stuff. There's some really good stuff in here, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, the review code.
Nice. What was the weirdest thing? The family and I, we went out for lunch today to
That is weird.
a
That is weird.
restaurant.
I can't believe you would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
They took me. They took me outside. But we get to the restaurant, and in the
No
restaurant, there. Well, this one requires it, so
Hmm.
they made me
No
put one on
service.
in the car. But there was a trio of teenage girls there, getting ready. They were waiting to go in to eat, and one of them was playing a Vita.
Nice.
If you can believe that.
Was she using the Twitter app on there?
I
That was what it was?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Facebook app, clearly.
Excuse me, what are you playing
Yeah,
on your
that wouldn't be creepy at all.
on your Vita? I couldn't help but notice you had a Vita. I have a Vita too. Would you like to trade near codes?
I was
I was gonna say,
let's load up near.
do you still have near on there?
Oh God,
Oh.
near.
Yeah. She was, she was a little too young, and my wife was with me, or else I would
So-
have invited her over for some to play a little wake up club.
So you got home and immediately went to misconnections on Craigslist?
Yeah, yeah. You possibly playing near.
Did she have a confused look on her face? Because if she did, there's a good chance she was playing near.
Has anyone ever figured out how near worked?
No.
No. Well, didn't they discontinue near service as well?
Oh, did they?
I think they
Joke.
Did they ever actually start near services?
No.
That's-
No, of course not.
That was weird. It was a poorly thought out idea.
Yeah. Should we do a clap?
Oh yeah, sure.
I've got the clap.
One of them. We forgot to do a clap last week.
Yeah, I
You
could
forgot.
tell. It was a mess.
I forgot. Yeah.
I was listening to the
Yeah.
show, and it was
You actually listened.
mess. I did. Yeah, you jerk.
Who knew? The one time in 10 years you listened to a show.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
happens?
All the way to the end too.
I did.
All right.
I was waiting for it to
3,
get good.
2, 1. Lovely.
How's that?
Lovely.
Lurvily.
Hello and welcome to episode 487 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, March 8th, 2016. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me, as always, from the frozen north, Mr. Greg Seward.
It is the frozen north again. We had like spring weather the past 2 weeks, and then on Saturday we just like got dumped on with snow again. It looks like December out there. Well,
Really?
January. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Ridiculous, I tells you.
All right, then. March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb, right? Is that the one?
In like a bitch.
Is that March or April? I can't remember. Anyway.
It's March.
Okay. It's March weather.
Beware the ideas of March. Something like that. The idiots of
Yeah.
March.
Joining us from the great state of California, yay, Mr. Phil Fewald. Hello.
Is it a great state?
Pretty good state, California.
I mean, I like it, but I'm just asking. It's a
Fine.
great. I mean, I guess if you look at it from like the size aspect.
Yeah, I mean, just from a land mass,
Yeah.
Mm.
it's pretty significant.
Yeah.
This is episode 487.
Yeah.
Were you aware that under California legislative law, Penal Code 487 is grand theft?
Really?
Were you aware of that? Were
No,
you
I was
aware of
aware.
it?
I was aware of 187 because of the video game.
187?
Yeah.
What's 187?
Homicide.
Oh, is it?
Isn't that a movie too?
Probably.
Also a
pretty
lyric in several hip hop
Rap
and rap
musicals?
music. Yeah. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I don't actually know. I mean, look at me.
Well,
Murder
Do I
you're
look
a
like
big
I would know?
I don't know. You're a big Two Live Crew connoisseur. Not as much
Yeah.
as your mother.
True. Yikes. Huh? Face down.
Your mom's nasty as she wants to be.
Yeah. Exactly.
I shouldn't. I'm sorry. CJ's mother is a very lovely person.
She is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's not rehash that story.
Oh, come on. That's my favorite CJ story.
It's a pretty great story.
It is. It's like, it's my favorite CJ story because it's so embarrassing for you and because it's such a great parenting moment.
Yeah. Should we revisit the story now? Should I just?
Well, we have to now.
Okay, fine. I think it's come up in the last couple episodes anyway. So
It'll come
for
up
those,
every episode if I have
for
something to
those
say
who
about
don't know. Yeah, around it was like late '80s, early '90s when the Two Live Crew and the whole Parents Music Resource Center, caution explicit lyrics thing was going on, and being somebody who enjoyed popular music of the day, and
You and your buddy
watched-
Kanye were hanging out. He was
watched
When you were
yeah,
hanging
watched
with Kanye.
exactly watched music television back when they played music. I was curious about the Two Live Crew situation, the sitch with the Two Live Crew. So
Use the parlance of our times.
when Banned in the USA came out, I wanted to buy the album that it was on, and my parents said no when I asked, because I asked them, but I don't know why I did that. But and they said no,
Poindexter.
and I went and bought it anyway.
Oh.
They didn't even card me at the record store, probably because I was 6'3" at the time. Like 11 years
when
old.
you were 9.
Exactly.
Uh,
But so I got it home, and my mom found out that I bought it, and she said, "Okay, you can keep it, but we have to listen to it together." So 12 or 13-year-old TJ sits down at the kitchen table of my parents' house with my mother. We were across the table from each other, so looking straight at each other as
Oh,
we
God.
played the contents of Banned in the USA.
yeah.
Let me tell you, those lyrics are
They're a little blue.
a little bit blue. A little bit blue. Maybe lasted like a song and a half in.
Wow.
My mom. Well, first of all, my mom started laughing
Yeah.
hysterically at the whole thing, and my face was like beet red. but I was also laughing. And then I shut it off and put the tape away and never listened to it again. Never again.
Yeah, there were some certain lyrics you quoted the last time you told that story that just made the whole thing, but I'm not going to say because it's a family show.
This is a family show, but one of the songs begins face down, something else up. That's the way I like to
fornicate.
And then my favorite, the one that's just F word Martinez.
Oh, that was my brother and I. We love that one. That was our
on
favorite.
and on and on.
I don't even know why we liked it.
So that's my 2 Live Crew story. Yeah.
Oh boy.
And I actually think the tape is still at my parents' house in my.
Your mom still listens to it.
In my cassettes that I just never brought. I never moved with me anywhere, so they're probably in a closet or in the crawl space or something. Storage.
I love it.
So embarrassing. So embarrassing. But,
so awesome.
But yeah, I never listened to that again. All right. Video games.
Yeah.
I played a few.
You played a few?
Oh,
have you read some of the news?
No. Regale us with because
week?
I looked at the outline and I don't know any of this stuff.
Really? Okay. So let's jump into that. Microsoft announced a date for their HoloLens dev kit when those are going to get shipped out, and that's going to be in April. It's expensive. It's like over $3,000. So don't get too excited. But they also announced the first experiences for the HoloLens, and that includes a platformer they are calling currently Young Conquer. So
yeah, I saw that
for a day. They've done an AR platformer called Young Conquer.
So is that when Conquer traveled the world with his father Henry and went to Egypt, and fought in World War I?
I don't know, actually.
Phil knows what I'm talking about.
Is this like a...
It's a young Indiana Jones.
Young Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
dude,
that series was great.
Nobody... Wait, really?
That series was great. Come on.
Really?
I don't know, I've only ever seen like 3 episodes.
No, that series was not...
It was great.
Was not great.
No.
Was not great.
So good.
Not great.
Also not looking great, Young Conquer.
Now that looked terrible, huh?
The still shot on the YouTube preview is just the worst. They just... I don't know what they did. It's like they took Conquer and then mixed him with Zool and James Pond.
Oh my god.
And Chester Cheetah and Bubsy, and out flopped this thing. And I guess you run around. It's an AR platformer, so he runs around on surfaces in your home.
Yeah.
It looks really kind of dumb.
Yes, it does.
To be honest. So I don't know what they're doing. What the hell are they doing with Conquer? Like, first there was the whole Project Spark thing, and now there's this. Like, just come up with something different. Just why you gotta do this to Conquer?
This video, I'm watching some of it now, and this is the thing that I really hate about VR in general. But I mean, this isn't VR, but it's close. Is that it's just like nothing you see is going to represent what it actually looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you always see the image of the guy wearing the glasses, and then sort of approximations of where these things will actually be in the 3D space that he's looking at, and just
also, what if your house isn't that clean?
Are you saying that someone with as a person with a toddler may not have a home that is surfaces?
They also probably don't have an extra $3,000 to wave around for this thing, but
the other thing is that this stuff is the other thing is too that every one of these things they show is a still shot. I don't know if you've ever worn a VR helmet. You can't keep your head that still.
That's true.
Like he's walking off ledges and tripping over things, and it's like, yeah, but that's not the way it's going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks bad. It looks
Doesn't look great.
no.
No.
Especially using Conquer in this way. Not good.
Yeah, they should really show more respect to Conquer.
Yeah.
A dignified character like that. How dare they?
dignify. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean,
I mean, it's
they should be saving him for some more timely Matrix parodies.
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Really what he's all about.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer
Hmm?
made some comments last week about the
What's
Xbox
this?
One
What?
getting hardware upgrades.
Wait, what?
You guys hear about this?
Are you talking
Yes.
about that time when I was at Spencer's Gifts yesterday?
And you got a hardware upgrade?
Yeah, well, you go to the back of the store and they have those risque greeting cards. Yeah, kind of.
Those doors that are very creaky, you go through it, get the bumper stickers that are off
I
color.
don't know why you're continuing this joke. Like, it's bad
I
enough
was
that Phil's
fine to. I was
it's bad
fine
enough that
to.
Phil's forcing it on us, but you're just kind of running with it for some reason.
sorry. Okay, so apparently Microsoft is planning to give the Xbox One hardware upgrades throughout its life.
Okay.
And Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, made some comments regarding that, about how over the life they're gonna see multiple hardware upgrades, and that things will be backwards and forwards compatible. And there you go.
So
I don't know. What do you think?
are they saying that the Xbox One is a platform then? Is that the idea, or?
It seems yes, and with Windows on top of that, you're gonna be able to play current and future and past games all under one roof.
It's interesting.
Yeah. My question with that is, so I'm gonna buy like a revision 2 of the Xbox One, or
I mean, that stuff has always kind of existed, but they don't usually change the specs.
that's right. Yeah, they don't. So I guess that's what's happening here. They're gonna change the specs.
Well, the thing that sucks is now the SNES games you can only play on the updated Xbox One.
You're skipping ahead, Phil.
the
What?
hell are you even talking about?
What?
SNES games?
Yeah.
Skipping ahead to Nintendo news.
Wait, what? Now, see, I'm all confused.
We've got like 2 hours of Nintendo news. Just wait till we get there.
I don't really want to buy another Xbox One. Is that too much to ask?
No.
I bought one.
Looks like I may be winning out by having not bought one already.
I guess possibly so.
Yeah.
I can tell
Good
you're,
news, CJ. Move on.
you're speechless about that
Yeah.
particular news. So what about this? Quantum Break
Yeah, this is weird.
is coming out in April.
Okay.
And to watch the cutscenes, because the cutscenes are actually like full-length TV episodes, right? You're going to have your console online to watch them. Stream them off of the internet, like you would via Netflix or Hulu. And the reasoning, allegedly, and I certainly believe it to be true, is that the decisions you make in the game change the scenes that are shown to you in the show. So they couldn't really include all of them, I guess, on one disc for the Xbox One. But that really sucks for people who want to play offline.
Yeah.
Without an internet connection.
Yeah, that's a little bit weird. But I could see why, because I'm reading the story that you linked in the narrative designer Greg Loudon says that they have 40 different variations of the show in total.
Yeah.
And your choices make it evolve and change, and also affects the length of it using quantum nipples.
Mm.
I think that's ripples.
Oh, ripples. Sorry.
Misread there.
Sorry.
Was this a 2 Live Crew tape?
Vinyl. It's all vinyl now.
Cassette.
I mean, I can see the point, but it's... I don't know. Is that a big deal anymore? Like, I know that, you don't... There's always the argument, well, how many is everybody online? Like, you want to make sure that you support the players who are online, but is that a big deal anymore?
CJ, weren't
Are
you
most
unable
people
to
online?
play your games recently?
Yeah, it was like a week ago.
Yeah, right. So I guess it is. Digital
But
future.
then there's also, what about, people who have bandwidth caps on their internet?
So everyone?
What?
Everyone?
Not everyone has bandwidth caps. Only
will.
people who live in third world countries and Comcast locations.
I do not have any bandwidth caps.
I know. You're lucky.
Well,
Actually, I pay $35 a month extra to not have a cap now.
That's
Oh, really?
ridiculous.
Yeah.
See, in California, they don't put bandwidth caps on there because nobody has any drinking water, so it's kind of a trade-off.
Well, they can't because there's actual competition in other areas.
Do you know how much YouTube footage I can stream of drinking water? It's fine.
No, but if you live in countries where there are bandwidth caps, and there are a lot of countries with bandwidth caps where that's just a thing, then this is going to affect those people wanting to play Quantum Break.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Even
you're
if
right.
they buy the physical version of the game, they can't watch the cut. They can't, get the full experience. I actually don't even know how that would work. Does it just not play the cutscenes or what?
I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. But anyway.
I'm still buying it.
Yeah, I'm buying it too. No Disney Infinity 4.0 this year.
Thank God.
Instead, they're going to do a bunch more playsets for 3.0.
That's what they should have been doing the whole time.
They really should have just made it a platform where you can buy all of them.
Yes.
Because I have that Aladdin playset from 2.0, and I can't use it except for in the toy box.
Speaking of which, the Midway arcade set is coming out for LEGO Dimensions, next week? The 15th or something like that.
Yep. Actually, I believe that is the final batch of...
I think so.
LEGO Dimensions everything.
Really? And there's nothing more planned, or is that
nothing that they've
totally
revealed?
Yeah, but
I'm sure that LEGO Dimensions 2 will be at E3.
You think?
Yeah.
Wait, who publishes LEGO Dimensions?
Warner Brothers.
Are they still exhibiting at E3?
Warner Brothers.
Good call.
Because you heard that, right? That various large publishers are skipping E3.
Yep.
I'm reading the story now. I'm reading like 5 lines ahead of what you're talking about.
I think it started with Activision, and then
Activision, Disney Interactive,
Disney
Wargaming.
Didn't
Electronic
EA
Arts.
also say they were skipping that, or not?
Electronic Arts.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
Jeez.
you start to look at the floor plan of E3, and it's got a lot of big gaps.
You know what? Greg, I lied. The final batch of LEGO Dimension stuff comes out at the end of May.
Okay.
So this is the penultimate batch of LEGO Dimension goodies.
Penultimate, that just means even more ultimate, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Even more. Ultimate.
Better than the best.
Better
The
than
penultimate.
ultimate.
Yes.
I see.
I'm getting into what you've been playing here, and I don't care. I played the Back to the Future level pack there. Philip,
you talked about that last week.
Yeah, that last week.
Have you played it? Did you play it?
I did not play it yet. I have heard, though, to back up your claims. I've heard it's disappointing.
Super short.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Like Michael J. Fox short.
Oh, I gotcha.
Get it?
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
You can relate.
Yeah. I'm a little shaky on the details, though. Refresh me.
See.
Wow.
See? That's not cool.
What?
Short jokes, all right, but you're just mean.
What? I don't. Yeah, it's been a week since I listened to this show. I don't remember.
remote play, everybody's favorite feature of PlayStation 4 experience.
Yeah.
That's coming to PC and Mac in the next big software update.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to remote play your PS4 stuff from your PC or Macintosh computer.
That's fantastic.
That's pretty great.
Crazy.
I love this remote play stuff.
Yeah?
Just saying.
It's good
You love it more than your daughter?
Kids.
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no.
But it's a fantastic way to play video games with a daughter in the room that like Firewatch or Far Cry Primal.
Far Cry Primal.
Your 2 Live Crew games.
That's right.
Yeah, boy, you are just...
What?
You're a terrible father.
I'm a
feel
fantastic
like
parent. What are you talking
what my
about?
mother did to me with the 2 Live Crew tape. I feel like that lesson just didn't really take hold.
Yeah.
It didn't? Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
I think one of these days your daughter is going to have to sit you down and force you to watch a season of Jessica Jones with her just to make you feel uncomfortable the whole time.
No thanks.
Hey, Daredevil 2's this month, isn't it?
Did you see that? I think it was on Saturday Night Live a couple weeks ago. Pete Davidson did a really funny. There was a funny sketch on Saturday Night Live.
I don't believe you.
That
What is this? Was this 1979?
Jane, you
Watching-
ignorant slut.
uncomfortable movie scenes with your parents. Anyway,
It's pretty good.
yeah, it was funny. I'll link to it in the show notes so that
I can't wait.
everybody can enjoy that. But anyway, let's move on to Nintendo stuff. Huh?
This is my favorite part of the show.
So there was a Nintendo Direct.
3DS ready.
Nintendo Direct last week, and they announced Super Nintendo games on
Finally.
3DS Virtual Console.
Yes, but
No
But
cross-buy.
what?
No cross-buy. Is that what you're
Oh,
going to say?
no, but you have to have the new 3DS.
Well, you have to have the new, you have to have the
Oh,
new.
really?
Yep.
That
Yep.
seems unfair.
Does not work
Nothing.
on the original 3DS. You need to have the new one.
But if you're a Nintendo fan and a 3DS fan, you should have already...
Don't even start. Don't even start.
Oh,
Why
boy.
not? What?
Backhanded defense of all these terrible decisions. You're
Yeah.
a real fan. Oh.
Exactly.
Ugh. No.
So you don't have the new Nintendo 3DS, so you cannot partake.
I do.
Actually, as soon as this was announced, I went out and spent the $200 to get the new 3DS just so I could spend another $8 to play Mario World again.
I
So
figured.
I needed Mario World on yet another platform. So
Yeah.
$208 later, finally.
Mission accomplished.
No, I do not have a new 3DS.
That's a shame.
Is it though?
No, I guess not.
Yeah.
But then when are they officially going to put GBA games on the Virtual Console on 3DS? Because the Ambassador games
Yeah.
are on there, but they are limited in features. You would figure that they could just update those as well and offer them for real on the 3DS.
For reals?
For realsies. So anyway, Super Nintendo games on 3DS, they started off with Super Mario World, Pilot Wings.
They're launch games.
Yeah,
Started off with launch
games,
games.
they're out. So those are out, and they're $8 each. And of course, I picked up Super Mario World, and they have a perfect pixel mode in there that looks really crisp
Yeah.
on the 3DS screen. It looks really nice.
If they release ActRaiser, I'm in.
I think that's one of them. I think that is one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
If they're going through like sort of the timeline, that's like one of the first 4 or 5 games released in Japan. So
Yeah, and then they have Link to the Past coming in April.
that's pretty
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
But I own that on a lot of consoles too.
I do too, but I'll take one more.
But I'd love to have a portable ActRaiser because I can play that over and over and over again.
Yeah. They also did a segment on Star Fox Zero and announced that Star Fox Guard is coming as a separate game
What is Star Fox Guard?
at same
Wait,
time.
that's packed in though, right?
No, it is not. So there's a double pack
Okay.
physical version, where I guess it's a separate disc, and then it is a separate game on the eShop.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand why, but that's what they're doing.
It's weird.
Yeah. They also announced Paper Mario Color Splash.
Okay, so describe this to me because this is interesting. What's Paper Mario Color Splash?
It's a Paper Mario game where you are uncovering, I guess, paint things and repainting the world because the world has been robbed of all color. And it has card-based combat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, you should watch the trailer and
This is for the Wii U?
the Wii U. Yeah,
Yes.
for the Wii U.
Sure looks pretty.
So that rumor or that leak that came out a couple weeks ago that said that there was or I think Emily Rogers tweeted about this, right? The Paper Mario game for the Wii U that was coming out
Yes.
this year, and then it actually did come true. They are doing that. So,
I'm a fan of another Paper Mario game.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you're getting one. We're also getting Metroid Prime Federation Force. So they had the director of the game come out and explain himself
Explain yourself.
as you would a child. Yeah. He had to basically explain the genesis of Federation Force, how he came up with it, and what they were trying to do with it. And I guess they're going to show it at a couple of different events coming up here, and it comes out in the spring. So, I thought it was kind of funny. They had him basically justifying the existence of.
Look, we know you're all kind of irritated about this whole Metroid thing, but come on, please.
This is going to be a fun game.
Give us a chance, guys.
I think what they should have done is
Make an actual Metroid game?
dun dun dun.
no. If they're going to release it in spring, just have the direct and say it's available right after this, so that people can actually play it and just get all the internet hate out instead of.
Do you really think anybody would get all of it out?
No, of course not. People on the internet love to hate things.
Did you guys see that Ghostbusters trailer?
Speaking of hating things?
I thought that trailer looked really good, actually.
Did you really?
Really good?
I thought it looked good.
See,
Really?
I'm not going to write off the movie just yet. I am a little bit bummed that they decided to. It seems like they were just trying really hard to sort of make an analog of absolutely everything from the first movies.
That's true.
And I just,
I'll agree with that.
you know.
No.
But here's something I think we can all agree on. Ecto Cooler coming back is pretty good.
Well, jeez, yeah. Yes.
I can't go with that.
What?
No.
Are you
No?
mad?
No.
Have you had Ecto Cooler?
I don't drink a whole lot of sugar water anymore.
Oh, try some Ecto Cooler. You'll be drinking all the sugar water. Oh, man. That stuff is great. Friggin' love Ecto Cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, they also announced a new Kirby game for the 3DS and a bunch of amiibos to go along with it, and Rhythm Heaven Megamix
Yep.
for 3DS. That's coming out in the US later this year, so that's good. And then over the weekend, we got another Nintendo leak. Apparently, there is a My Nintendo Picross game
Yeah.
that's Twilight Princess themed,
Nice.
and it comes out on March 31st.
Might be the first good Twilight Princess game.
Haha. Zing! Zing-a-zing zing!
I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
Well, I wonder if it's going to be a reward or something, right? Because it's My Nintendo.
Oh.
Wouldn't it be like use your points to download?
Well,
something?
maybe.
Oh, yeah, I need to register for my Nintendo.
I
Yeah,
did
you
sign
do.
up. I signed up for it. I'm all locked in, ready to go.
Yep. All right. So, well, before we go on to what you've been playing, I wanted to say a big thank you to the Bracket podcast, who had me on as a guest. And I'm going to be on this week, so I think like Wednesday the episode comes out. We talked about video game protagonists, and it was awesome. So I will link to that in the show notes, or go to bracketpodcast.com and check that out. They do a lot of fun video game stuff. They do like a bracket tournament, with things, and they whittle it down to the winner, and it's good, it's fun, and it's a really funny show. So you should check that out.
Figuring out who the best video game protagonist was?
That's right.
Oh, well, who was it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna tell you. You're gonna have
to. We both know it's Mario.
To the thing.
You can tell me.
I'm not. I'll tell you.
Me.
I'll tell you
Tell
after
us,
the
CJ,
show.
we're not gonna listen to the show.
I'll tell you after the show. But you should listen to Bracket Podcast, because they're great, and they were nice enough to have me on. So there you go.
Was it Mega Man?
Mega Man was in the field of
Yeah.
possible winners.
Was it Link?
Link was also in the field. All right, what you been playing?
Okay.
Was it Die Hard?
This
is Wall Street.
Comes out the window. Right.
Mm.
All right, what you been playing? Should
have
we
you been playing?
save the Firewatch talk until the end?
Yes.
Of course we should.
Because it's going to be spoiler-filled, right?
It might get a little spoilery.
Turns out the Fire Watcher did it.
Somebody's been setting fires. That was my Smokey the Bear.
What?
No.
Really?
You know Smokey the Bear
I do know Smokey Bear.
prevents forest fires. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Give a hoot, read a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. And CJ,
Yeah.
for the record, his name is Smokey Bear. It's not Smokey the Bear.
It's not Smokey the Bear? There's no the?
Nope. Just
Are
Smokey
you
Bear.
serious?
Look it up. Look it
Oh
up.
my
His
god,
name
I've spent
is-
30 years saying the,
You've
and
been
I could have just said
You've been
Smokey
living a
Bear.
lie.
I bet
You've
you
been
feel like
living
an
a
idiot.
lie.
Oh my god, I feel like such a huge tool.
Yep. Smokey
right.
Bear. Smokey
Like
Bear.
6'3".
All right. Phil, you
Wait.
want to...
Hmm?
What?
What?
You want to talk about what you've been playing?
We
We could rehash some Pokemon talk on this.
Oh God.
Join us,
Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah.
Greg, who have you caught so far?
How many gym badges do you have?
We've been catching them all. So
He muted himself and turned off his video. That's good.
Well, it's nice.
Probably because he'll be furiously fapping to our Pokemon talk.
This is going to be the best part of the show.
Yeah.
So, I believe I had mentioned when we were talking about this before that I was curious, but probably not going to pick up any of the new, and by new I mean old,
I said the same thing.
virtual console releases of the Pokemon games, because as great as those games are, they are products of 20 years ago, and everything you might expect from a 20-year-old portable RPG.
Mm-hmm.
But I cracked and picked up Pokemon Yellow. And
Me too.
you know what got me to crack? And you didn't mention this last week on the show.
Uh-huh.
The thing that got me to break down and say I'm going to pick this up is that you will be able to transfer using Pokemon Bank, the Pokemon Bank software on the 3DS. You'll be able to transfer any of the Pokemon that you capture in the Virtual Console Red, Blue, and Yellow games into the upcoming Pokemon Sun and Moon,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was the coolest thing. So that is what that's what pushed me over the edge, and
Okay.
helped to kind of justify the inflated price for those particular games.
$10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of it's obviously Pokemon tax,
Sure.
but the fact that they actually added Pokemon Bank support to it. So
They added Pokemon Bank support and took out save states.
yes.
Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty fantastic. So
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's what got me to.
So how far are you in yellow then?
Oh, I'm just a little ways in. I haven't even gotten my first badge.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
I've just been catching a few little Pokemon.
Catching some Caterpies and some.
That's right.
Whatever else. Nidorans.
Yeah, I got a Nidoran male and female, so hey, we've been having a good time at the breeding center, if you know what I mean.
Did they have the breeding center in Pokemon? I guess they did. Yeah, the first one?
Yeah. I mean, just, haven't gotten to it yet, but...
I thought the breeding center was in Gold and Silver.
I don't know, maybe. Remember. I don't remember. It's been 20 years for crying out
Pokemon
loud.
eggs didn't come around until Gold and Silver.
It's been 20 years. I don't remember, dude.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Also, hey, did you get your...
No.
You what was I going to say?
What do you say? I don't even know, but I didn't get it. Go.
Did you get? You didn't get your Celebi?
No.
Oh, okay.
I hear him, but I don't see him.
Greg's back.
Well, I guess that's all for Pokemon Yellow then.
You know what?
We can move on.
Greg.
For you.
Greg.
We'll move on.
Hi.
Oh, hey, it's Greg. How nice to have him back.
What are you guys talking about?
Huh? Oh,
We're talking about how awesome it is to have a version of Pokemon where you can hear the digitized Pika!
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah. See, there you
This
go.
is actually the only version of Pokemon I own.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, my God, that's loud.
That's
Really loud.
Yeah, well, guess what? So was friggin' beep, beep,
served
beep,
a
beep,
purpose.
Yeah.
I'll
tell you the purpose. The purpose is pissing me off!
You can kick the $5.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe I will, mister. See, you know what? That's the biggest problem with the new Ghostbusters trailer is not whether it's a good movie or a bad movie, it's that it's never, ever going to live up to that movie.
Well,
there's just no way.
Did you see the fan edit of the trailer?
I heard.
Yeah. Because the trailer that was released was terrible. I'm CJ, you're wrong. I'm sorry.
The big thing that really got me about that trailer was that they revealed that whole plot line about being able to be taken over by the ghosts. And
right.
It's like that's such a 1970s movie trailer style.
Is there something wrong with that?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
But whatever the case is. That's all I've been playing is Pokemon.
You know what I really liked? If you ever watch this movie, The Gift. So there's a trailer online you can watch, and we watched. My wife and I watched the trailer, and it looked pretty interesting. We started watching the movie. Everything in the trailer is in the first half hour of the movie.
Okay.
Nice. So you have no idea what else is going to happen. It was pretty great. Anyway, Pokemon Yellow.
Right.
It's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No.
No?
CJ?
What?
I just said no. I got Firewatch, and that's it.
Okay, fine.
Ugh.
You didn't even play the hot new game from Adult Swim Games on your iPhone and iPad?
Oh, Jesus. I thought there were no ad reads this week.
It's called Peter Panic, and it's available free for your iOS device.
How much does our show get for this ad?
Nothing.
CJ gets to keep his job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Peter Panic is a fun game.
It's a micro game collection surrounded by some musical stuff.
I told my wife to buy it.
Excellent.
So she did. So you got at least one sale off of me. So
I do appreciate it. It is a super fun game.
So
did you see the video that Swery65 made?
Who?
You know Swery?
Don't know what that means. What is this?
Deadly Premonition and D4 and all that good stuff. That guy? No? Spy Fiction? Ringing any bells?
Okay.
Anyway, he made a really funny video, and I'll link to that in the show notes. Anyway. Because he's contributing some content to Peter Panic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, it's got music from Grant Kirkhope in the game.
I've heard that.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I played Super Mario World on my 3DS, and that was awesome. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still playing Fire Emblem Fates Birthright, and that is
Mhm.
a fantastic game, of course.
Yeah, except for that translation.
For
Garbage.
real.
Garbage. I'm
No,
kidding,
the
of course.
translation's great,
Was that
actually.
another 8-4? Did they do
Yeah, I
that?
believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that whole thing's ridiculous.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do we want to do tweets, or you want to do Firewatch now?
Let's do tweets, because then if people don't want to get spoilered on Firewatch, they can just turn off the show.
I guess you're right. All right. Hacker alias Sin Memory Mao says
Maybe we should. You want to try that one more time?
Sin Memory Maw says,
Okay.
"What's your take on the Calico Chameleon fiasco? Have you seen
Oh,
any
that's
stuff?"
I think the word fiasco is pretty much all we need there.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's amazingly ridiculous. Holy friholies.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was it? They was like
Well, they
people
showed it off at Toy
discovered-
Fair,
right.
and they discovered that they had put a Super Nintendo in the guts of an Atari Jaguar, and that's how they were getting it to play at Toy Fair.
So they
there's that.
just took the chips and the boards
Yeah, it was a
out of
Super
out of a
Nintendo
SNES.
Junior guts in a Jaguar shell.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and then they showed another picture of it in a clear case.
And this was their defense was like, no, it's real.
Yeah,
Look,
here's
another.
this
Here's
real.
a picture.
Here's another picture, and that turned out to be a graphics card for a PC.
Just
Which
an old
is even
South
better.
Blaster.
Yeah, so aren't they? They're doing like a Kickstarter or some kind of crowdfunding effort pretty soon. I really hope people don't give money to that.
Yeah.
Please don't. Yeah, bad idea.
Pretty unfortunate.
Not good. I think it's sad, honestly. Like it's really preying on people's love of retro stuff, and I don't like that. So not good. Hacker alias Mr. Nelson says, from the Connex multisystem to the Coleco Chameleon, what are some of your favorite hardware vaporware?
The Connex multisystem was pretty awesome. If you have never seen pictures of that, go look it up, because that thing was going to be amazing. It was the triangular system, wasn't it?
I think you're right.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. The cartridges were triangles or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Actually, did that come out?
It may have come out in Europe somewhere.
Anyway, it had like a built-in steering wheel and.
Right, the controller was like, it could be three different things. It was like
No, it was
racing wheel.
It was canceled.
Oh, it was canceled. Okay.
Yeah.
It was like a pyramid. It had three sides to it.
Yeah.
Side was the steering wheel. I forget what the other. I think there was a gun on the other side, like gun.
Steering wheel, flight yoke, and motorbike handles.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Didn't they have like a chair as well, like a hydraulic chair or something?
They might have.
They showed off
Yeah, I
at
think
like
so.
several European trade shows.
Yep.
You'd have the pictures of Ed Semrat and EGM sitting on one. But yeah, favorite vaporware.
Yeah, there's the M2.
The M2 is a big
I really
one.
wanted the M2 to be a thing.
The old M2.
The Super Nintendo CD.
Always loved the idea of the Sega Neptune.
Ah, the Neptune.
That would have been nice.
Yeah,
That was
actually.
the Genesis and 32X in one.
Except I don't think it would have been nice. Because the Saturn was already out. Like, you wanted to push people
But you know
towards
what,
that
though?
instead of doing...
It would have been nice from the perspective of somebody who had those systems,
Yeah.
because two wall warts and all those cables, and
Yeah.
the
Well, that's true.
32X was notoriously
Well,
unreliable.
it had all those stupid little metal clips and things you had to peg into place before you could hook it up.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you had to
that's
have the collar depending on which Genesis you had, and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. What a mess.
What about the Nuon?
I was never excited about the new one.
The new one came out.
And
It did come out.
Yeah.
I remember being NDA'd all to heck and going to the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas and getting a demo of Tempest 3000 in a hotel room and being shown all this amazing Nuon stuff or amazing Project X stuff. I had a Project X jacket at one point.
I think I may have that jacket now.
You might. And a slinky. I think I still have the slinky.
I just remember you making your review Merlin Racing.
Yeah, and when it came out, I reviewed it. I reviewed a couple of the games. Yeah, I made you review Merlin Racing.
What'd you give Merlin Racing?
Tempest.
I think it was like a 0.5 or something like that.
It was low.
It was awful.
It was a terrible. That was a terrible game. Tempest 3000 also was kind of a terrible game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well,
how so? The Tempest games were usually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you know the blurry graphics of the Jaguar that made it look, interesting. They went overboard on the blur, so it kind of made it unplayable. So, yeah, I didn't like it much, despite being a huge Tempest fan. I really like Tempest 2000,
right.
Tempest X3, and all that
stuff.
Yeah, so, games. Yeah.
Tempest 2000 is still the best reason, probably the only reason to own the Jaguar.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. All right, let's do this one from hacker alias NeFirst1, who says, can publishers ever reestablish and maintain higher baseline prices for games? Nintendo seems to be the only holdout in a race to the bottom. We live in a world where people complain about $8 Super Mario World.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's totally a fair comparison. People are complaining about an $8 Super Mario World because a lot of people own it on a lot of different systems already, and the game is, what, 20 years old?
That's true, and I think people are complaining about it also because they bought it multiple times on Nintendo platforms, and they want a cross-buy ability.
Which, not to say that game isn't worth $8. I mean, I think it is.
It's worth $8.
I don't. That's not really a fair comparison when you're talking about new games. As far as new games go, no, I don't think publishers can get back to that level. I think you either go all out AAA, spend millions of dollars, or you release something that's worth $1. It feels like the in between is gone.
Yeah.
And even the AAA games, like I'm a good example of it. Like with Far Cry, I really want to play Far Cry, but there's no way I'm paying full price for that.
Well, it's also because it's really expensive in Canada.
Well, no, it's true. But still, I mean, for a lot of people now, the viable way to buy games is to wait, because for a lot of them, like the Lego games too, like those will go down in price pretty quickly.
Well, actually, I mean, I just bought Star Wars Battlefront for $30 digital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is if you wait like even a few months, like 3 months.
Unless it's Nintendo.
You can get something for cheap. Yeah. Kind of crazy. I actually think with indie games, the prices have gone up over time.
Well, yeah. But their budgets are growing, right?
Yeah, budgets are growing, and I mean, I think there was a time on this show not too long ago where we were complaining about $15 digital games, and now they're inching upward even more towards $20, $25, and you have The Witness at $40.
Yeah.
So.
And you've got No Man's Sky at $60, don't you? Is
No Man's Sky $60?
Is it full price? I don't know. I think it's $60 here. I have no idea what it is down there.
So I agree that the middle is gone, but it may be that higher budget indie games are coming in to take that place.
Maybe.
Which would be interesting. Let's do another tweet from hacker alias. Let's do damn.
Yep. Yep.
Let's do this one from hacker alias Seth Chenard, who says, "You looking forward to Doom?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Love Doom. Always love Doom. I'll give Doom a shot.
The new one looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trailers that I've seen have been great.
Yeah.
Looks like big stupid fun, which is exactly what Doom should be.
It really does.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope they have a 30 frames per second locked mode because I get
Jesus.
motion sickness off of games at 60. But I know they won't, so I probably won't. I probably won't buy it. What? I'm getting too old for video games?
You're ruining video games.
Well, yeah. That's true. Yeah. All right. I think that's it for tweets. Let's,
before we move on, I just wanted to throw out a big thank you to hacker alias Grim Grinning Guy, who actually has sent me a copy of Rock Band 4.
Really?
Yeah, for the Xbox One, because he asked me if I have the he had a copy that he was getting rid of, and asked me if I had the Xbox 360 controllers, which I do. And he's like, "Oh, okay, I got a copy here you can have."
Wow.
All right.
So that was pretty nice. I just need to get the dongle. So thank you very much. That was very generous of you. Really appreciate
super
it.
Cool.
That is cool. We have the best
Great
listeners.
Yep.
We do.
Best listeners ever. All right. Anything else before we sign off and start talking Firewatch?
Yeah, actually, one more thing I wanted to throw out there. I wanted to say this actually when you were talking about the other show you've been on.
No.
I am going to be on an upcoming episode of Retronauts.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Jeremy and Bob have invited me, and Dylan Cornelius, who runs SegaDoes.com, which is a great cron gaming Sega blog, to come to the Midwest Gaming Classic and be on their panel on April 9th.
Nice.
In Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
If you're in Milwaukee,
means
if you're going to be there, and I've already heard from a couple of our listeners who will be, but if you're going to be there, come on by. We're going to be talking about the Master System, 30th anniversary of the Master System. But anyway, it's really cool. Really nice of them to invite me. And
Totally.
I can't wait to go.
Actually, you know what? On the topic of generous listeners, I was just gifted by hacker alias Salted Snake. Was super nice to gift me a copy of Firewatch on Steam. But
Nice.
because I had already gotten the PS4 version, I politely declined it. Thanked him for his very, very, very generous offer. Because we're going to be talking about it today. But I totally wanted to say thank you for just the thought was super nice. So it was very sweet. But yes, he wanted to get a copy for me so we could all talk about it on the show. But we already did.
And we are about to.
Yes, and actually,
Yeah.
we'll say this discussion, this Firewatch discussion, is supported by our fine Patreon supporters, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yes.
So the Patreon funds that we get each episode go into one large place.
Mm-hmm.
CJ's
account.
wallet.
No, not exactly.
That place seems to get larger and larger the longer we have this Patreon thing going. That's weird.
But then we decide to get games for all of us and then talk about them on the show. We did that with Bloodborne, and we're going to do that with Firewatch now, and yeah, we'll continue to do that.
And maybe No Man's Sky in June. Just
yeah,
saying.
I think maybe we should. That'd be a good one, actually,
Yeah.
to do. So yeah, we'll keep doing that. And thank you very much for those of you
support.
who are supporting the show in that way.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/P1podcast. Thumbs up to you. All right. This is the point where if you have not played Firewatch, you should probably turn off your podcast listening things, or I'm going to put chapter stops in here so you can just skip to the next chapter for the outro if you want to. We're going to talk about Firewatch. There are going to be some spoilers. So this is your last chance to shut off the podcast now or fast forward to the next chapter. All right. So,
Yes.
did everybody play on PS4? Do you play on PC there, Greg? What do you got?
Actually,
PC?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a fun way to sort of give the PC a test run.
Yeah.
The newer game.
Cool. So yeah, I had seen a couple of things, and I actually had watched the demo being played at PS Experience. And I thought the visuals looked great, and I was interested in Firewatch anyway. When I bought it and loaded it up, I was not expecting the game to start the way that it does. Right?
Yeah.
The narrative.
The little now you should be sad.
Now you should be sad moments.
It was quite the sad intro, yeah.
They definitely bring things down at the beginning.
But it's really well written. I mean, and like they intersperse it with you hiking to your new summer job, which is to a Firewatch Tower, Fire Ranger, I guess you're called. Which is a nice way to get introduced to the game and the visuals and sort of realize that you're running from real life. So
yeah, I thought it was a great way to open.
Yeah.
Despite being very depressing, but definitely shows you this is not going to be Super Mario Brothers.
Here's my problem with Firewatch. Okay, I play through Firewatch, and it takes me like a couple hours. I finally get a weapon, and then I'm walking around with this axe, and I can't like kill anything with it.
What would you kill?
Yeah.
Well, that's just it. It's like, what am I supposed to do? There's like no like.
I really wanted to chop down that totem pole.
You guys are terrible.
No,
Bad people.
I'm playing, of course. I'm playing, of course. Can I come right out and say this though?
Go ahead.
I did not like Firewatch.
You didn't like it. Tell us why.
No. You know what? Actually, I was really digging Firewatch right up until the end.
Interesting.
And then the end was a big fat wet fart that just kind of was just like, okay.
I do agree with that. I agree the ending was not good.
So let's back up a little bit.
Yeah,
let's
back
talk about a spoiler cast, and we're already talking about the ending here, and that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
So,
No.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what you liked about it. I mean,
well,
like
you know what I was doing, Greg? You know
What?
what I was doing? I was setting up the big dramatic scene, and then we flashed the card on the screen. 3 hours earlier, and now we
Day one.
go back in time. Yeah. Now, how did we get to that crazy place where our heroes were at?
Yeah. So I mean, we talked about what happens in the intro, and where we're doing the spoiler cast here, I'm sure we can talk about exactly what happens, which is you go through meeting your wife, the description of meeting your wife.
Yeah, it's all text based.
Yeah, it's all text based. There's a few different choices in there which are interesting. But talking about having children or wanting to have children, her moving away to teach, and then her sort of really depressing descent into early onset dementia.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you being a coward and running away from it all.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's why you are a Fire Ranger for the summer.
Yes.
Just to get away from it.
Yes.
And the game is gorgeous.
Yes.
Wow, is the art style.
Game truly gorgeous. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still gets pretty stuttery on the PS4 though.
I heard about that. Apparently they didn't have any kind of frame rate lock or something.
Yeah, it's
which they fixed, I guess. But
Well, they didn't completely fix it.
oh, really?
I mean,
it's
they addressed
still
it, but it's still choppy. Yeah.
I mean, I played through the entire game yesterday, and
It's only like 3 hours long.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But still pretty choppy.
Did you guys get stuck at any point?
No.
I will say I was
CJ
looking. I did, of course.
Where
I was
did
looking
you
for
get
the. So you're told that there's like a you need to find bear tracks by the lake,
Yeah.
and I ran past the clipboard that you're supposed to find at the.
God damn it, Johnston.
And
How
because
did you miss that? It's like the only thing you can see when you come out of the trees.
those were not on. That was not on the ground where I'd expect bear tracks to be. So I'm actually looking for bear tracks, and there are none.
Did you just have the camera pointed straight down? Was that the problem?
Yeah, pretty
You were
much.
just walking around staring at your toes the whole time?
Yeah, I was like, where are these damn bear tracks?
Hmm.
I don't see any bear tracks here.
So the really interesting thing I find about the game is that the writing is super strong because you don't actually, outside of seeing a few characters in the distance,
Right.
Yeah.
You don't actually physically interact with any other characters during the game, except
right.
when you get the old cockpit one.
I will say that that did start to become very
Great.
blatant. Huh?
Grate on you a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know what it was?
Mhm.
It started to feel less like an atmospheric thing,
Mm-hmm.
an atmospheric choice, and more of a we're really uncomfortable modeling humans.
Yes, I felt the exact same way by the end of it. I was loving it, and
Yeah.
I was loving it because the way they had written it, and like at the beginning of the game, you find the two girls that are skinny dipping, and obviously they're really far in the distance.
Right.
And then you
And
already
yet
see that.
you seem to have no problem hearing each other fine.
Yeah, really. And you see that dude up on the ridge who flashes his flashlight at you.
Right.
But otherwise, like, it was working for me in that, like, when they were talking about the bear being around, there was quite a big chunk of the game where I was thinking, like, there's going to be a bear when I turn this corner. Like, there's going to be a bear. I'm going to get eaten.
Yeah, there's never a bear.
No,
But
no bear.
yeah, then after it doesn't happen, you're kind of like, okay, exactly what you're saying, Phil. It's not an aesthetic choice as much as it's, we're not going to spend the budget or the time to get these characters right, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to animate a human.
Even when you find the body
Mhm.
Yes.
in the cave. Spoilers, by the way. Did we mention there are spoilers? when you find the body in the cave, and the body just very conveniently is completely exposed, except for the head, which somehow became
Yeah.
very, very delicately buried under the rock. So it's like we don't have to bother modeling a face or anything like that. I was just like, come on, yeah, it's come on.
Which, of course, any 2D visuals that you see, because you see a picture of yourself right at the beginning of the game.
Oh yeah.
And you see a picture of that kid and his dad.
Right.
And it's like, it's a very stylized 2D art style, so it would never have translated anyway.
I mean, but you know
yeah.
what, though? I mean, just even clearly the humans in the game are stylized, and you can tell that by your dude's big chunky box fingers, So it's and I would have had no problem with seeing the stylized people, but it started to feel like we just don't, for whatever reason, don't want to model people in our game.
But yeah, for me, talking about the writing again, they did, for probably 90% of the game, built a really great tension, and they had so many threads going.
Yep.
Where I really was on edge while I was playing it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Probably in the second half of the second hour, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Because the music's amazing, the visuals are great, the music's amazing, and of course there's a lot of really great use of different daytimes and things like that. You never see anyone, and they had so many. There was like, is the government watching us? Are we being monitored? Are we being studied? Like, is this lost or something? Like, is there a bear gonna eat me? Did those two girls die? Am I gonna get framed for it? Like, there was a ton of stuff happening.
Oh yeah. Very a lot of tension, and it was great.
Yeah,
I agree.
It really was. And then on top of that, the fires.
Yeah.
Like burning constantly, and like every new day, it was like more smoke in the air and ash falling, and really dug that.
I felt like there wasn't enough of that, though.
Enough of what?
Enough of
Enough fire in Firewatch.
Enough of you dealing with things not the main thread. Like, you go to all these supply drop boxes, and they're really. I don't feel like they were used in any really inventive ways. Like,
you're complaining there wasn't enough job simulation in this.
That's right. That's what I'm complaining about.
I thought they were, because there was enough there, especially with the notes between the different characters, that it almost made you wonder if another one of the Watchers another one of the Rangers had murdered that kid or murdered his dad. Like,
I think more of that should have been brought to the front than it was. I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, a lot of that was in in-game notes, I guess, but.
Well, that's just it. You kind of had to. Yeah. Because, I mean, you could even read his journal. Like, he was using the typewriter to write his journal and things like that. You could actually read it if you wanted to. But, like, at the end, when he's... I also loved that one major aspect of it was that, like, am I just going crazy?
Right.
Yeah, I like that too.
Delilah has clearly lost a bit of her grasp on reality as well. Like she's just a little bit really lonely and
Yeah.
you know, yeah, going a little stir crazy. But like when he has all the evidence plastered up on his windows at the end of the game,
Yeah.
this is a nice touch too, right? And you kind of start wondering, it's like, is this like eternal darkness? Am I just going nuts? Like, is my character just going nuts?
Yeah. I liked that aspect of the game, but that felt like it was such a short diversion, and then it was on to the final approach to the end. They didn't dwell on that enough to like build any tension around it, I felt.
Well, this is where we get back to what Phil was talking about, and I agree with him, is that they, with all the different threads and possibilities in the game, they went with probably the most boring ending ever.
Well, that's just it. And it's like, first of all, the whole thread with the girls who you encounter very early in the game, and I'm going to say this too, just in sort of a odd bit of, I guess, video game logic. You have two teenage girls out camping in the woods. They were hauling way too much booze.
Oh,
to be even slightly realistic.
They have like 96 cans of beer.
I know. Well, that was just it. Because Dana is sitting out there watching me play this game. We're just kind of playing it together, and by the third cache of empty cans that we find in the woods, and then they have another 24 case of cans. That's
pretty
much
a full case at the campsite.
Yeah, exactly. And she was the one who pointed out, she was just like, how? There's no way two teenage girls could be hauling all this beer along with their camping supplies and the tents and everything like that. So
it would have been funnier to have it be like a trail of their clothes, and they do have a trail of clothes, but it's like, two different coats.
Right. Yeah.
Like a wetsuit and all this stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, you have this whole sort of mystery forming with them because they go missing and their campsite was destroyed, and there's the strong potential that you are going to get blamed for their death if they turn up dead and stuff like that, and then it's just sort of
they both turn out to be Bunny from The Big Lebowski.
Yeah. They're fine.
They turned up.
Yeah.
I thought the interesting part of that was the whole Delilah's been lying to you part, where it's like she didn't tell the cops the thing that she said she was going to say.
Right.
And then what was the whole thing at the beginning with her on the other conversation and leaving the button on? Was that ever resolved, or did I just miss that?
I don't know if they ever resolved that.
I don't think that was resolved at all, no.
I thought that was a more interesting thread, that Delilah's been lying to you the entire time, and actually, I kind of expected the ending to be
that you were stranded.
Yeah, right. There was going to be no helicopter there because Delilah left on it.
Right.
She didn't tell anybody else that you were out there and you're screwed and you die in
it's a game of anticlimaxes.
It really was, and it's too bad because they built it so well and just
Well, then the big mystery is because you end up having there's someone tapping into your radio, listening to your conversations, writing down what you are saying, keeping track of where you walk as you go through the woods. All this kind of great creepy stuff.
Great setup.
Yeah, and then it's just it's just this guy.
It's just one dude.
Yeah, it's just a guy.
How did he have the means and the supplies to
Well, that's just it. Okay,
fence you off so you can't even get over it or whatever. I guess.
So that wasn't him.
And then that huge bunker with 3 beds or whatever.
That wasn't him.
Who was that?
That seemed more like that was some sort of scientific research facility that he.
No, I think that was.
If you read his notes at the end, he talks about how he infiltrated it, and he planted the. They weren't. Those people weren't monitoring you and Delilah. He planted evidence that made it look like they were. They were reading seismic. It was all seismic equipment. If you look at it, that thing that they called a lie detector, at first, if you look at it, it's actually labeled as a seismic measurement device.
Right.
But then when you start to get paranoid and you look at it again and you radio it into Delilah, suddenly it might be a lie detector. Like there are hints there that show that like he ransacked the place, he made it look like they left in a hurry, and he planted the evidence for you. That's how I saw it.
I guess I didn't do enough reading of the notes to get that.
Yeah.
They were plastered all over his cave at the end. They were plastered. There were notes plastered everywhere.
Up, but I did not read them.
God damn it, CJ.
I play video games to listen to not read.
To shoot things.
To shoot.
I love, by the way,
read.
A big Mad Men fan, so I love that the main character's voice was Rich Sommer.
Yeah,
who was a main.
He was great. He was really great in this game too.
Yeah, but it was just kind of so he just went crazy and did this. Is that the?
Well, I think he probably went a little bit crazy, but then the other thing was that he. So okay, you go into a cave, you find a body of a kid, and there was the guy who was in the tower before you was there with his son, and technically that was illegal.
Right. And his son died. Yeah.
Apparently accidentally in a climbing accident when he was spelunking.
Yeah.
And so the father thought, well, the father obviously was grieving, but thought that he would get blamed for it. So he's hiding out.
So he
and also Delilah knows
into the woods.
Delilah knows none of this stuff and is just like, well, I guess they just left.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So much for, even sending a search party out there and seeing their
that
camping area. So.
Yeah, it was.
Just there was a lot of really cool threads happening there, and you're right.
And
like,
it just
at the
end.
It's
ends
like,
with
oh,
a
okay.
thud. Yeah.
I agree.
It was this one dude, and
just like,
now going to get the helicopter out of here.
There's a lot of interesting aspects there, and especially the ending where everything's on fire, and I felt like there was going to be a moment where I'm going to have to rush to the rendezvous point or whatever. But you actually didn't have to rush. You could take do whatever to get there.
No. To be fair, if you are in a fire watchtower, they're not going to make you sit there and watch the fire. Yeah, until your actual little lookout tower catches flame, and then now go. You've watched it enough. Get out of there. They're going
Are you sure? Are you sure?
I mean, granted, I've never been at any sort of park ranger, but I would imagine that they would try to evacuate people before there's any sort of actual danger to their person.
You know what I thought would have been interesting is if you talk to people other than Delilah also. I mean, there are other people in other towers that they kind of allude to, but Delilah's the only one that's been talking to them. It would have been interesting. It could have brought a new dimension to the game if you could, talk with the other people who are there and sort of compare notes on things instead of Delilah.
That's the thing. I feel like the game at the end it feels like it's as small as it is. You know what I mean? Like, it feels really expansive at first, and they've got all these different story threads going on, and you're in the woods, and the world feels huge, although it's not.
Right.
But then,
actually, I remember when the game first came out and seeing news articles on websites going, "You're going to want to print out the map because the map is huge." But then I started.
I never got lost.
No,
I really never got lost.
That's the thing. Like, the whole world by the end of it, like physically and otherwise, just had completely condensed.
Yeah.
And it just kind of felt really small at the end, and it was too bad because it felt very grand in the first 2 hours.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like it could have been grand. I feel like exactly what Phil was saying. Like, they have all these threads and all this great setup, and they cut it off at it was like a sitcom that has to wrap up everything before the half-hour mark.
Yeah.
It's just dropping a soaking wet towel on a hotel floor. Just a big splat. That's how the ending felt to me. Because I was really digging it up until then. It was super tense, and I liked the the back and forth
Yeah.
conversation and everything. It was.
Yeah.
I liked the mechanic of being able to inspect all the items that you find and then radio them in and have the conversations about them. I thought that was handled really well. I thought the mystery element was handled really well. The exploration, it felt really nice. I was having fun, enjoying the narrative, and then that ending just let me right down.
Yeah.
And I was kind of it really sort of soured me to the whole game afterwards.
Yeah.
So. And I'll say this, I picked up every friggin' can that I came across and got like no reward for it. I was hoping Delilah would at least say, "Oh, thanks for getting all those cans, buddy."
At the beginning of the game,
maybe Smokey Bear would have come out and.
I don't know why I thought this.
That would have been Woodsy Owl would have come out and thanked me for that.
Woodsy Owl. Yeah, I don't know why I thought this. You know the boombox that you find by the lake?
Yes.
I was like, there's probably an achievement for bringing this all the way back to my tower, right?
Doing it for the achievements, were you?
I did love that you found that boombox in his cave at the end, in Buddy's cave. But you didn't notice it, did you, CJ?
CJ did not notice it.
He had it half dismantled.
No, you do.
No, because I had taken it. I had taken it from the beach to my watchtower.
Wait, now
I threw it off the watchtower because it wouldn't shut off, and it kept playing that stupid.
Did you, CJ? Did you go into his little hidey hole at the end?
Yes, I went into the hidey hole. Yes,
okay, so you did. Now, was the radio there?
No,
I don't
it was
remember.
there. CJ just didn't notice.
I'm sure it was there.
Okay.
I was playing it on the Vita. Maybe I didn't see it on the tiny screen.
Okay.
Seems like there's a lot you didn't see on that tiny screen.
Yeah.
Oh, true. I thought well, here's the other thing. So at the end, there's a tower by the rendezvous point, right? And I thought there would be some interesting stuff in there.
That was
Delilah's tower.
I
mean, more interesting stuff than I ended up finding.
Were you aware that was Delilah's tower?
No.
Oh my god.
Maybe not.
What?
You didn't notice the drawing? You didn't notice the drawing of you that she talked about early in the game when she asked you what your eyes looked like? And
oh, maybe I did notice that. Maybe I did notice that.
Maybe.
Blank.
You know what I did notice?
Yeah.
Greg, I'm going to mention this to Greg because I know for damn sure CJ didn't notice it.
Probably not.
And I actually, for as disappointed as I was with the ending, this got a little chuckle out of me. In her cabin, or in her watchtower, she had the pork pond sign.
Yes, I streamed it and I commented on that. The second I walked in, I saw it and I was like, I knew she'd have that sign in here. I knew it.
So I did notice that was her tower. For real, I'm not just.
Yeah, of course.
Our boss is not White Tiger Glance.
How convenient. Yes. Yeah. You seem to remember it right now after Greg and I.
Pork pond.
Pork pond.
Yeah.
Where was Pork Pond, CJ?
It was over by the pig farm.
Oh my god.
No, it was the what?
Over by the pig farm.
It was by the
pig farm. Because
over by the summer camp area,
something that you find
where the snowmobiles were for some reason.
Something, exactly. Yeah.
Something that you find in so many national parks is a random pig farm in the middle of it.
What is that? Is it not a thing? Yeah.
Oh man. There we go. Anyway.
Great writing.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny. Yeah, I liked it right up to the end, and yeah. So
it was a really good sort of mind screw right up till that point.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, the most boring thing you can think of, that's actually what was happening.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm glad I played it, but
did you take a lot of photos?
A couple. I took a couple. I was actually kind of saving it because I figured that
There'd be a
might
reason for it.
exactly. But
Yeah.
I guess with the PC version, you can sort of like transmit those pictures, and they will mail you
They'll print them out for you.
actual physical. They'll print up and mail them to you. It's
That's
kind of a
interesting.
goofy little sort of an expansion of what the Last of Us DLC did, where you could post
Right,
your
yeah.
photo booth to Facebook and
I had
just
that
to-
come up as a memory on Facebook recently.
oh really? That's
Yeah.
funny. And this
That
is
just makes
just
me
to
look creepy.
sort of tie it into the
What about like Activision badges?
Oh man.
Cool.
yeah.
So hacker alias Joel W Music is asking me, what did we think of Delilah? Like, how did you interact with Delilah? Because she starts off being pretty flirty right from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go along with that, or was there any payoff for that at all? Because I actually
No.
avoided it completely at the beginning of the game, and then by the end I actually did start being flirty back, but it didn't seem like it made a difference.
Yeah,
There's no payoff.
yeah.
Another cold night in the watchtower.
If
Cold,
you
lonely
if you
night.
make
mostly
all
avoided
the
it.
right if you make all the right choices, there's this really gratuitous and just
Sex in the end.
big
Yeah.
sex scene at the end. Yeah, you're both hanging from the helicopter.
There's an ending I can get behind.
Yeah, and in fact you do at one point.
I was waiting. I knew I could count on you, Phil.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Oh my!
Oh,
the great state
boy.
of California.
That's it. That is us. Yeah, I don't know. One of these days we're going to do one of these Patreon-funded games that I'm going to enjoy.
Hopefully that's No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed it. Like I'm with you though. I did enjoy it. I'm glad I played it.
Yeah,
I'm just-
like
I'm
I said, it
down
was
with it, that's all.
right up to the ending. I was totally with it, and then just
Yeah.
big wet thud. So there you
Yeah,
go.
I think it would be interesting to know, so in development, if they had de-scoped things or if this was the original scope of the game. Because to me, it felt like they had to cut things
Yeah.
from it. That may just be the video game producer in me thinking that.
No, I got the same feeling, CJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would like to do that, but we don't have time to do that aspect.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
Firewatch, more like Fire Wretch.
Okay.
I mean, I liked it. I have heard people saying, like, encouraging non-gamers to play it and talking about, like, replaying it. And maybe I will replay it in a number of years, but I don't think I'm going to have to rush.
replay it. I see no reason to
I don't
replay
think I
it.
have to rush through that. Yeah, I mean, the only thing would be if answering some of the conversation things would bring up different stuff, but I don't necessarily feel like it would. Or
I don't
you could
think
change the outcome in any way, which doesn't feel like it would.
if the outcome changes, then they did a masterful job because it's so subtle you can't tell.
from what I understand that there are no alternate endings or anything like that, if that's what you're wondering.
That's the thing. I am curious about that, but I haven't heard that there are. So
Yeah, I mean, you
Which is
might
why-
get
like that's and it's so disappointing because the conversations, there are some interesting choices in those conversations, and even in the intro there are some interesting choices where you decide like I don't want to put her in assisted living, I'm going to stay with her till the end, and I told her not to take that job on the other side of the country, like, and she resents me for it. Or even if she went out, like, in hindsight, she didn't come home one night because she might have actually been forgetful, but you know, like, do you get mad at her? Or do you just not speak to her? Like, just little things like that. It's like, okay, these are kind of interesting. A lot of them are situations that, you know, they're very uncomfortable choices. But it doesn't seem like it made a difference.
Yeah, the vibe I get is that any of the choices that you do make may slightly alter little bits and pieces of dialogue. Well, just, you know what, very much in the same way where when Delilah is talking to you and she's asking you what you look like, and she says, "Oh, I'm drawing a picture of you," and then at the end of the game you see the picture, and you may have a mustache or a beard depending on what kind of facial hair you tell her. From what the feel is that any decisions you make have that caliber of effect.
And I think you're right, because that actually happens right at the beginning of the game, because there's one point where it says that Julia is your wife's name, I think, draws you, and you either make a He-Man pose or you pretend you're a model, and then when you find that book at the beginning of the game, you see the picture and it's one or the other. Little things like that.
Yeah, so your choices may have small effects on dialogue a little later in the game, but it's not going to start significantly altering. Delilah's not going to just suddenly decide, "Oh, I will wait around for you to get to the helicopter." There's not going to be anything like that. So.
Yeah, it would have been interesting also if they had done things like, Delilah says she sees somebody in your tower, but it's not you. If you were able to run over there in a certain amount of time, you have a different interaction than when you, get there and there's nobody there. Yeah. Would have been interesting.
And where she was so close, why didn't the two of you ever meet each other in those 79 days you were actually working together? And that didn't sit well with me either.
I mean, it's walking distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like actually a 15-minute walk over there.
You went up there to get supplies the first time. Right?
I know. I couldn't believe, because I never bothered going there that time, and I couldn't believe how close I was.
Yeah, right.
But you're not even going to stop. She could have made a crack about that. You didn't even stop to say hello or something like that.
Well, especially considering all the freaky crap that starts going down, and like breaking into your guard tower and stuff. Noise. I think that would be the just safety in numbers kind of thing. So
somebody's listening to our radio transmissions. Maybe we should meet in person somewhere.
Yeah, well, how about I just take the 10-15-minute walk over to your place and we can have this conversation in private without having to worry about the radios being tapped.
Right.
Oh, another aspect I did think was interesting was there was one bit towards the end where you hear a loud noise and you say something, you report it in.
Oh, the elk call?
Yeah, the elk call.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was really cool, but ultimately that didn't matter either.
The dialogue was great.
The dialogue's great.
Yeah, like the writing, the dialogue was fantastic and really well acted. So
yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I'm glad I played it through once camp, but don't need to again.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe I will in the future, but yeah.
Yeah.
When the definitive edition comes out.
Game of the Year version.
The visuals are great though. Like really. Just even wandering around in the game, early on, I was kind of expecting more exploration than there was. Like I'd get to a new a box or something, open it up, see something, have a small chat with Delilah, and then it would be the next day or day 77.
Yeah,
I was like, but I was wandering around a place. I kind of want to continue doing some of that instead of going back to the tower.
Would have been nice to be able to put stuff down without just throwing it. Yeah. It's like, hey, I found a fossilized dinosaur claw in one of these boxes. And, can I hang on to it? No, you can't hang on to it. Okay, I'll just throw it back on the ground, I guess. I can't, for some reason, I can't seem to get it lined up where it actually goes back into the box. I'll just toss it into the dirt. Who needs it?
Yeah, or being able to put some of that stuff in your tower somewhere, I don't know.
Did you get the little pet turtle?
I did.
Yeah.
I called it
Secret Turtle.
What? Turt Reynolds.
Oh, really? I went with Shelley Duvall.
Oh my God, I hate you guys. Are we done talking about this now?
Did you not find the turtle, Greg?
No, I didn't.
Oh, really? Oh,
no.
And not. Hey, guess what? It affects nothing. It affects precisely 0 things.
I like, by the way, how I read nothing in the game, but I did get the turtle. Greg read everything. No turtle.
When you go when you're going up to investigate the downed wire, Greg.
Yeah.
On one of the rock outcroppings, there's a little turtle shell just perched on a rock, and you can pick it up and you can choose to adopt the turtle. And they give you a couple stupid names that you get to pick from for it.
Oh, so you guys didn't make those up?
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm less impressed.
Yeah. Less impressed or less disgusted?
Less impressed.
Okay. So, but, yeah, it just ends up, you have a little cardboard box next to your cot that this turtle lives in.
Interesting.
And then at one point after the guy comes in and wrecks up your place, the little turtle was no longer in the box. He was crawling around outside on my tower, so I saved him and put him back in the box. And now CJ, here's the important part. Did you, when you were packing up to leave, when you were evacuating your tower,
saved Kurt Reynolds?
you did not. You left the turtle.
Yeah.
You're a terrible person.
Wow. What? And you were thinking of doing stuff for the achievements and everything.
Oh,
and
first.
And you were just like, screw that turtle
or whatever.
I grabbed my turtle. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I grab my turtle every night.
Yeah. before he hides his head up in his shell.
It has been colder lately.
Speaking his head out, might want a little bite of lettuce.
All right, are we done?
I don't know if you know how you would interpret that.
That's it?
That's it.
End? Okay.
So, Firewatch could have been great. Ended up kind of pooping the bed at the end.
Yeah. Great visual design, great writing.
Yeah.
Ultimately, kind of
didn't stick the follow through.
Kind of shallow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of hollow.
Yeah.
Yep. Alrighty. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitter, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward.
Mm-hmm. Should be another one soon.
Find Generation 16 episodes as well.
I didn't make a lot of progress on that this week, but I did actually get a chance to talk to the one and only Al Nilsson.
Oh,
who was the
wow.
director at Sega of America back in the day. I got to talk to him for an hour. He told me some great stories, and if he would have given me the time, I would have spoken to him for hours longer. But super nice guy. Thank you so much, Al, for sitting and talking to me. And so, yeah, a little less progress on the episode this week, but some great stuff for future episodes.
Nice.
And you'll find a message board where you can discuss this episode and Star Fox Zero's motion controls with us and our other listeners.
If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by going to the iTunes Music Store. While you're at the iTunes Music Store, you can also invest $1.99.
Cheap.
To pick up the Player One Podcast iPhone application. Gives you one-touch communication with us via the voicemails, the emails, the Twitters, what have you. No!
Oh, Phil.
There's no voicemail.
You take a week off and you just forget it.
It was my son's birthday last week. That's why I wasn't here. You guys
That's
didn't.
the first good excuse you've had in a year.
You guys didn't explain why I wasn't here last week. I was off celebrating my boy's birthday.
Well, he's going to have a lot of them in the future.
Yeah,
though,
he's
so,
4. He's 4 now.
Yeah.
We also have all of our episodes ready to stream right to your listening device. And hey, Android cell phone, telephone users, the Player One Podcast iPhone application is available for your listening device as well for that same $1.99.
Also cheap.
You can find that right over there at the Amazon Android Marketplace. We're also on Stitcher Radio. You can like us on Facebook. You can check out archives of our show and watch us live most weeks at youtube.com/P1Podcast. Just follow our Twitter account to find out when we'll be broadcasting our next live show. And if you like what you heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1podcast. Toss a few shekels our way to support the show. It helps keep the lights on. It helps us talk about new games that maybe we wouldn't all have played.
That CJ won't actually play, but
Yeah,
I played Firewatch.
But did you experience it?
I played
don't
the
feel
most.
like you did.
I played the most Bloodborne of any of us.
That is true.
Yeah. And if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to generation-16.com, where you'll find a link to donate to the Patreon of Greg Stewart's fantastic,
long-awaited
Generation 16 internet video series chronicling the trials and tribulations, the ups and the downs,
the ins and the outs
of the Sega Genesis 16-bit Mega Drive system.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. CJ,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
No problem, Phil.
Greg, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And I'm going to throw another thank you so much to all of the wonderful people who do donate to our Patreon, because this discussion, this Firewatch discussion, is made possible through your generous donations.
That's true.
So thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. And
you guys are awesome.
Who, me?
No, well, you too.
Were you talking
more about our listeners?
You were talking to them, not to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was a little too.
You're awesome too.
That was a little too genuine sounding to be referring to CJ and I. Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
So anyway, okay. Next week.
Sure.
Let's do it to it.
Yay!
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Toodles.